Hi everyone, my name's Adi.
My name's Soham.
I'm Sridhar.
And I'm Gabby.
Hello, welcome. My name is John Corton. I'm director of the Petrick Idea Center at Illinois Wesleyan University. Second, I'm just here to remind you, you've got 90 seconds to make your pitch. And I'll start a timer when I give you the cue and you've got your slide. You can go ahead, whoever's going to share your slide, you can use that share screen feature to get that slide pulled up.
First of all,
I will
just want
catch,
to
I will catch you off at 90 seconds just to give you fair warning. And I'm going to get a timer started here. Just a second. We'll be ready to go.
yeah. Before we get started, we just want to thank you guys for taking the time to listen to us today.
Yeah, and also giving us the opportunity to pitch. Thank you so much.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. You may begin.
Communication is a vital component of our everyday lives, but for over 72 million people worldwide who rely on sign language to communicate, it is an everyday challenge, but it doesn't have to stay that way.
Introducing Signal. Signal is an AI-based sign language translation app. It's simple. Point the camera of the device at the person signing, and Signal will provide a real-time instant translation using our neural network technology.
Our current model can translate all ASL characters and 25 ASL gestures with upwards of 90% accuracy. We are seeking funding from this competition to invest into our AI development, allowing us to build a more comprehensive solution to this problem.
To date, we have received over 2,000 signups for our waitlist available at signall.live. Additionally, we have received interest from companies around the world looking to integrate our technology into their corporate workflows in places such as translation during video calls and translation at customer service counters. Thank you for listening.
How you doing, guys? Just first question here. I saw that there was more than a few competitors that are, in that enterprise space, doing live sign language translation. Are there any differentiators from your? I know you said neural network technology. Everybody's using computer vision these days. What makes your guys as different than what's out there?
So Signal has its own custom framework for translating sign language. We actually plot points in 3D, as you see in our demo here. And our model is much more accurate than current industry available standards, as we have developed everything in-house using our own framework. So that really helps us stand out from our competitors.
So maybe a follow-up on that. You said you're more accurate, and you said you're about 90% accurate. What's the state of the art? What's the industry standard for accuracy?
State of the art is around 70% to 80% based on our conversations with other open source projects trying to recreate this on a smaller scale.
And is that a pain point for your customers? Is that the difference between 78 and 90 substantial for them?
Yeah. Obviously, with language translation, you want to be as accurate as possible to convey the true meaning of what you're trying to get across. And in terms of pain point for our customers, a lot of our customers are not able to use this technology because it's not integrated in a way that's convenient to them. And that's another point where Signal stands out with our B2C and our B2B packages. Sridhar, you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so our B2C package is our mobile app, which will give to individual users. And our B2C package is the one we will sell to businesses to integrate in places such as translation during video calls and more.
So you're doing it all off of the camera. There's no using the LiDAR on the mobile phones that makes this in 3D.
Yeah, so it's fully camera-based. We're using a Google API to essentially, as Adi mentioned, motion track different points on like your hands and your body. And then we relate that into a 3D space. And then we train our model off of that representation in a 3D space, giving us 90% accuracy, which is right now above the industry standard for what we have.
The reason we're doing this is because not all devices have equal capability in terms of camera, and we want Signal to be as accessible for our target market as possible.
Do you have any IP protection around this?
No, we're actually in talks with some of our connections at Innovation DuPage, a startup that or a startup incubator that we are working with. And they have a team there that is actively trying to help us get our technology protected.
What's your revenue model?
Yeah, so for the individual app, we're charging a per use system using credits. So one credit is 1 minute of translation, and we're charging $1 for 10 credits. And for our business model, for our business package, it really depends on the individual use case. So that price will vary.
What's the margins on that?
The profit, for the individual package, it's around 30%.
Are you in any app
Go-to-market
stores currently?
strategy.
Could you
I'm
repeat?
sorry, can you repeat that?
Are you in
Yeah.
any app stores currently?
In any app stores? No, we're currently not out, but we're planning to not have a full release, but have a public beta release at some of our partnering organizations by the next couple of months.
Yeah, currently we're working on closed testing with our current systems.
What's your go-to-market strategy? How are you going to get this out in front of folks?
So our biggest strategy right now is making connections in the sign language community. So we're partnering with local schools and organizations for the deaf and hard of hearing community, and really we want to make sure to talk with them and make sure that we can adapt our solution before we get it out. So our go-to-market strategy is making these valuable connections.
How did you get started here? What was the genesis of this?
So about a year ago, we saw a video circulating the internet of a sign language speaker being misinterpreted by police, and as a result, he was harassed and falsely arrested. So that really touched our hearts, and we wanted to use our skills within computer science and business, and so we came together and we created Sana.
How'd the four of you get connected?
We are all students at the Illinois Mathematics and Science Academy, which is a public residential STEM academy in Aurora. So me and Shraddha are actually roommates, and we're close friends with Gabby and Soham.
Can I ask just a little bit more detail on the, so you mentioned what
sorry.
you were going,
We're
Oh.
out of time for questions. I apologize. Sorry.
no
Tried to
worries.
move very quickly, but the students are relieved. You have lots of good questions that you are asking. All right. Well, thank you very much for participating. I really appreciate it. IMSA has been a fantastic school over the history of the 3 years I've been involved with CHSI, and I no longer been involved a lot longer than that. So our thanks to your advisor for continuing to engage you all.
Yeah, great job. This was fantastic. I'm really impressed.
Thank you so much.
Great work, guys.
We hope to see you at Illinois Wesleyan University on April 6th, first off, for the finals of the competition, and then maybe someday as a student, keep us in mind. You'll see what kind of great stuff we've got there to continue to connect you with the phenomenal people and friends like we have here that support our startups throughout their longevity. So thank you so much, and we hope to see you soon.
Yep, thank you. Have a great day.
All right, that is
Pretty impressive for me.
That was really, really impressive.
Extremely
They're
impressive.
building, I mean, real algorithms. That's insane.
Team 7. That was Team 17.
Hello,
Soham, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
We're all doing very well. My name is John Court, and I'm the director of the Petrick Idea Center at Illinois Wesleyan University.
Nice to
And
meet you.
nice to meet you. And we're thankful for your participating in celebrating high school innovators. Illinois Wesleyan University is proud to be a third-year sponsor for this, what we believe is 12-year running competition. I'd like to introduce you to, or like our judges to introduce themselves here momentarily, and then we'll get started here with your pitch. So Alan, you want to start us off?
Great. Yeah, thanks. My name's Alan Fisher. I'm a serial entrepreneur and active angel investor with 162 startups currently in my portfolio. I invest chiefly through Sandhill Angels, one of the big Silicon Valley angel investing groups.
Hi there, my name is Cam Loyat, co-founder of Honeymoon Chocolates. I am an alum from Illinois Wesleyan 2018, and good luck.
Chris Bazillion, alum, graduated in 93. Own a large restaurant group in Chicagoland, and also a venture capital firm called Riverwalk Capital.
Randy Green. I'm a 2003 graduate of Illinois Wesleyan. I'm a startup and corporate attorney by trade, also an angel investor and advisor to a number of startups.
I'm Bill Murphy. I'm a professor at the University of Wisconsin. Started a number of companies out of my lab, and I run an institute that spins companies out of the university. And I'm a 1998 Illinois Wesleyan grad. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My name's Zach Tenza. I'm a product manager at Bradford Technology in Chicagoland, and I graduated Illinois Wesleyan in 2021.
Thank you, everybody, for introducing yourself. All right, so you're going to have 90 seconds to make your pitch to these judges, and then I will give them 5 minutes to ask you questions.
One more
And
question. Can I present my slide?
yes, you can. You're right on cue. Go ahead and use the share screen option and show
Thank
it.
you.
Fantastic.
Tell me when to
All
begin.
right. So I will give you 90 seconds. I will cut you off at 90 seconds. I'm just going to warn you. I got to be fair to the
Okay.
rest of the students who've also been held to that 90-second time frame. So you tell me when you're ready to go, and I'll start the clock.
Well, I'll go in 3 seconds.
Okay.
Well, ever since the day my uncle got bitten by a tick, our family has been on a journey of talking to healthcare providers. These conversations prompt questions such as what symptoms he has, when they started, what are they like right now, and the severity of their symptoms. Because tick bites caused him to have Lyme's disease, it's the utmost importance that one manages their symptoms because Lyme is asymptomatic and deadly. Over 500,000 people in the past year have suffered of Lyme disease in the US alone, with this number only growing. So I embarked this journey of creating an app solely focused on tracking symptoms, appointments, and medications for all widespread diseases to help everyone, not just if they have Lyme's disease. With the rise of digital health management, Lyme listing has huge potential on the market. To get us started, our target market is localized hospitals. After discussing with them, they loved our idea and model, and they would like to integrate it into their current medical system online, their online website for patients to use. The current price for the general market is $1 a month, with an estimated annual profit of $36,000 from 10,000 users. However, to beat server costs and to improve our marketing, we need the money from you guys. We have a team, and Lyme listing allows one to go to a doctor confidently, knowing that they have proper data to show. Thank you.
Very good job. You only had 2 seconds to spare. I think you've practiced this once or twice. Very good. All right. So I'll turn it over to the judges here just for 5 minutes and hold off. Zach, I know you're anxious to ask. That 5 minutes has not started yet. I just make sure that someone understands that at the end of that 5 minutes, if you are in the process of answering a question, I will warn you that it's at the end of 5 and you've got 30 seconds to finish up your response. But if a judge starts a question or is in the middle of a question, asking a question at the end of 5 minutes, I will cut them off. Okay?
So wait, just to reiterate, 30 seconds to answer the question?
No, I'm sorry. You have, as you can take whatever time you need to answer the question. I'm just saying at the end of 5 minutes, if you happen to be at the middle of answering a question, I'll warn you, and then I will give you an additional 30 seconds to finish answering that question.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Make sense? All right, Zach, sounds like you're ready to go.
Yeah, I just had a quick clarification question. You said 10,000 users. The slide says 1,000 users. If it's $1 a month for 1,000 users, that's 12,000 a year. So where's the other 24,000 come from?
Right. So there must have been some typo on the slide. I meant to say 10,000 users, but let me elaborate on how it becomes 36,000. Well, we have estimated the cost based on revenue and cuts and marketing and how marketing gains money and server costs and everything. And we come to the conclusion of 36,000. There's also churn rate, which we measured. So with churn rate, 10% churn rate value, we get 36,000 yearly annual revenue.
So you're not generating that right now. That's your plan.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. That's the estimated plan, the future plan to the general market. That's not even localized institutes, which we buy from. So the localized institutes, for example, if I have a doctor's clinic here in my town, for example, they will buy it from us at a certain price, which is not decided yet. Depends on the liability and stuff like that. So,
have you created this app already?
No, we have a model. As you can see on the right side, this is a prototype.
So, what's the evidence that there's a need to better track Lyme symptoms? Are
Yeah,
there,
I could tell you. So there's no like exact evidence, but it's clear. It's clear. For example, Lyme disease, like I said, it's growing at a vast rate. From 2000 to 2000, the year 2000, it was only 100,000 per year, but now it's 500,000 per year. We plan from Lyme listing. We are just not looking at Lyme disease itself. We're looking at the general, all diseases in a whole. So, for example, when we go market this to a localized institute, we're looking at widespread diseases. Okay, and to answer your question and how this relates to Lyme disease is what inspired this to happen. And Lyme disease is very bad. Like I said, in 2024, it's estimated to be 600,000 cases per
So
year.
what needs to be tracked though?
Okay, so Lyme disease, so symptoms. If symptoms are not caught fast enough, people could suffer they could suffer severe consequences, and this literally leads to death. So we're tracking symptoms, and along with that, like you could see in the prototype, we're also tracking appointments and medications.
Is that is that manually like calendaring? If somebody's tracking appointments, they have to enter that in. Does it like integrate through
Yeah, it's
into
manual.
like
If I had the
system
time
so
to
their appointments like come up and their option? In terms of symptoms, the list I presume is endless. Are there kind of like more localized symptoms that they're tracking that's specific to their health provider, or just anything?
Yes, exactly. That's what we're aiming for. So if I can't show you, but on the prototype, there will be an option. For example, press new symptom, and the symptom there'll be a select like Dropbox, and based on your like current diagnosis, the doctor will like have a list of symptoms, and you could put your own symptoms in there, and then when you go to a doctor's office, you could be confident because you had the list of what symptoms had happened to you, and you could show them instead of telling
So
them.
I saw you had like a Apple Watch app. There's nothing going on with any of the sensors that's like tracking anything. You're just relying on people to self-report, and this is just a centralized way to do that.
Yeah, so people have autonomy when it comes to entering in data, and in the future, they could put it on a AI like on a watch, and we use AI to detect like from heart rates and stuff. Like if we look at the derivative of a heart rate and see the rate of change of the heart rate, there's evidence that shows that heart rate values can indicate if you're like feeling sweating, if you have heart palpitations, and this is going to be integrated in our app later in the future, but the research and everything hasn't been done yet, so we haven't included it in our overall scheme.
Can you talk a bit about potential competition, or are you the only Lyme disease tracking app?
Right. So I kind of mentioned this in my speech, but for now, we're one of the only competitors, or one of the only people who are doing this. A symptom tracking app is pretty new nowadays, especially in the new digital Medicare society. So there is competition, but we are localizing it. We're going to local institutions and clinics, and I have talked to these people before. I went to clinics in my city, in my local city, in fact, and they like the idea. They want this to happen. And by targeting localized communities, we target the patients itself. The patients get to talk to the doctors.
To finish up this question. Go ahead.
And doctors get to talk to us. And from that, we are able to provide proper comprehensive symptom tracking to them.
All right, very good. That 5 minutes goes quickly. So thank you very much for participating and celebrating high school innovators. We wish you the best of luck when it comes to approaching those finals. We're going to be hosting the finals for the second year in a row at Illinois Wesleyan University. So we look forward to you being there and maybe considering Illinois Wesleyan as a place you may want to go to college.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. Have a great evening. You've got the challenging task to give us a 90-second pitch, and you have the ability to use one slide. Do you have a slide you'd like to share with us?
Yes, I do. Can you all see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So I will give you 90 seconds and I'll give you the opportunity to tell me when to start that clock in just a second. And then we'll get into 5 minutes of Q&A and I'll let you know how that's going to run after you do your pitch.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
All right, so I'm ready to start whenever you are ready to start, and I will cut you off at the end of the 90 seconds. I don't want to be rude, but I have to be fair to everybody else I've already cut off today.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so you tell me when I should start.
We're ready now.
Go.
Right. Ah, that really hurt my shin. That's because you are not using protection shin guards. Hi, my name is Rachel Catino. And I'm Shatakshi Chatterjee. And together we bring you Protection, a shin guard designed to dramatically reduce the frequency of injuries in martial artists. 46.2% of martial artists experience injuries to the tibialis anterior every year. Most common shin guards are made of ethylene vinyl acetate and only absorb 50% of the reaction. I got a stress fracture a week before nationals. Our solution utilizes sorbethane and a crumple zone directly in front of the tibia, which allows only 4% of the shock energy through. The retail price is based on our shin guards landed and overhead costs. Our wholesale price of $51.49 offers double the protection at a lower cost than Mutu and slightly higher than Adidas. The initial investment required for protection is $2,575. Over 1,000 students from organizations like Sando Martial Arts, the Illinois Taekwondo State Organization, and American Martial Arts Academy have already pledged to buy our product. Our brand ambassador, Jennifer Reyes, is a renowned national and 18 times state champion. We've settled on a manufacturer based in the Midwest. Initially, we'll distribute through schools and organizations, and then transition to wholesale and retail as our brand gains recognition. Whoa, that didn't hurt at all. Guess I'm ready for nationals now.
Very good. All right, you did a good job with your timing. And
Thank
now
you.
we'll head into the Q&A portion of our time together.
Sounds good.
Judges will take 5 minutes to ask you questions, and at the end of that 5 minutes, I will, if the judge is asking a question, I'll cut them off. But if you're answering a question, I'll warn you, we're at the end of our 5 minutes, and then give you an additional 30 seconds to complete your answer to that one question.
Sounds good.
Okay? All right,
Perfect.
so judges, you kick us off this time.
I'll jump in if I might. Very interesting product. A couple of questions. First, does it have utility beyond martial arts? I could imagine this material being used in a variety of different sports.
So currently we have constructed our shin guard for martial arts, like for the purposes of martial arts. However, we do have the intention to expand to other sports such as maybe ice hockey, soccer, other sports that you utilize these guards. We can use the same design for this for different sports.
My second question has to do with your pricing. You've got a premium product, but it sounds like you're pricing it about the same or in the same range as your competition. Since this is a superior product, why not charge superior pricing?
So the reason we do not charge superior prices is because shin guards are very expensive and they're actually only one part of what martial artists use, because martial artists use shin guards, foot guards, forearm guards, and gloves, helmets, chest guards. So that's a lot of equipment. And for me personally, whenever I would buy equipment for when I did Taekwondo, it would end up being like over $1,000, and that was really expensive. So we wanted to make it accessible to everyone, so people who are just starting martial arts can use it, and people who are also very advanced in martial arts can also use it. And we have had multiple customer reviews of people who are just starting martial arts really loving the product so far. So we want to keep it available to just people starting as well.
I assume if I'm just starting out in the sport, I would actually be able to feel the difference between your competitor's product and yours?
Yes, you definitely will. Yeah.
Is this proprietary material, or is this material that anyone can source? They're just not putting it into these shin guards yet?
So sorbethane is a material you can source from anywhere. However, we do use a crumple zone, which is not currently used in a lot of shin guards. So a crumple zone is very similar to what's in a car. So it's built to crumple. So if you see in the banner on the bottom right, we have those circles. So those circles basically crumple as you hit it, and that's what it reduces an extra 25% of the remaining shock energy. While sorbethane basically, when it gets hit, it rearranges its molecules, but is currently available in the market. But the other companies like Adidas, Motu, and Dado currently don't use it. Instead, they use ethylene vinyl acetate.
Have you
does
looked
it
into any
degrade
IP
over time?
protection? Oh, sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Does it degrade over time then?
Sorbitane does not degrade over time, as once it changes its molecules, as soon as like the shock energy is through, it rearranges itself. So if you know, oobleck is like a sort of substance that changes from like a watery texture to a solid. So this kind of does a very similar thing, and it allows it to absorb the energy.
Is there any IP protection? Do you have that for the crumple zone part of it, or is it possible? Do you know?
Could you please repeat your question?
Yeah, intellectual property. Like, is there any way to protect the proprietary nature of that crumple zone, or is that just something that is not proprietary to what you're doing, or do you know?
So basically, like the crumple zone is like not unique to our product since it's used in like other products. However, it's unique to shin guards because people currently do not use shin guards, use crumple zones in shin guards.
Are there standards in martial arts or in other markets that you might be going after that would affect whether these would be legal? I mean, so if you decided to go into ice hockey, for example, are there standards for weight and mass, et cetera, that you'd be staying within or need to stay within?
So I can answer this question. So for Taekwondo specifically, you have to get it approved by the association, which headquarters is in Korea, which is where we want to expand to in the future. But so basically we to meet the standards, you just have to have like a shin guard and get it approved by them. So you send it to them. However, currently, since we're just starting up, we're using it more for practice for the competitions. But in the future, we do want to get it like sent through the association and then get it approved. And then same for hockey, there are requirements, and we do want to meet those requirements in the future.
Thank you.
If this is truly innovative and not being used, it sure seems like IP protection would be a solid path for you. To me, it sounds innovative and interesting. Especially you're telling me that it doesn't degrade over time once it's picked or shock absorbed and so forth. So.
You know, I would agree. It seems to me you might want to come up with a more distinctive name than protection. Invariably, there'll be lower cost competition. So, you know, Yeti, everyone knows what a Yeti cooler is. Everyone knows what a thermos cooler is. And then there are all the generic ones. And you might come up with whatever the Yeti equivalent is here, because that will, from a branding and marketing perspective, really help you differentiate when you have the eventual competition.
We are out of time, and I'm now sorry, I'm going to have to cut us off there. Thank you so much for competing in today's regional round hosted by Illinois Wesleyan University. I hope we will see you. Good luck to you as you try to advance to the finals on April 6th. We're actually going to be hosting those finals at Illinois Wesleyan University for the second year in a row. So we hope to see you there. Good luck.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thanks. Nice job.
Thank you.
Go ahead, whoever's going to do that, use the share screen option and pull that up for us. I can see you're doing that right now. Fantastic. All right, so I'm going to give you 90 seconds. I'm going to start at your cue, but I will, when that time ends, I'll have to cut you off even if you're mid-sentence. I apologize. I've got to be consistent for all the teams to make it fair. So and then we'll go into the question and answer, and I'll tell you how that's going to work. But first, we're anxious to hear your pitch. So you tell me when you're ready and I'll start the clock.
You can start now. Many young adults struggle with managing stress, anxiety, or other mental health issues. In fact, approximately 49.5% of adolescents have had a mental health disorder at some point in their lives.
One solution to these problems is practicing yoga, acupressure, and breathing exercises regularly. As a matter of fact, after these sessions, 86% report a reduction in stress and 60% experience higher quality sleep.
However, individualized wellness sessions can be very expensive as they can cost around $75 per hour. As an attempt to make personalized wellness sessions accessible to all, our app, Bliss, offers these services for free.
Bliss, our unique wellness application, is unlike ones that are currently in the market, which provide users with generic exercises rather than personalized ones with targeted feedback. Bliss integrates different types of personalized yoga, acupressure, and breathing sessions and user forms all into a single platform. Think of it as your own personal trainer and fitness community.
After we test our application within our local circle and adjust it to users' feedback, we plan to make profits based on ad revenue and partnerships with large wellness companies and brands. In the next 2 years, as we successfully publish our app onto the Google Play and Apple App Store, we hope to gather at least 10,000 daily users, which translates to around $36,500 yearly.
Our goal is to help others unwind, de-stress, and live in bliss.
Perfect. Good use of your time. You still had about 5 seconds left. All right, so now we're going to move into the questions from the judges, and I'll give them a cue as to when they can start. Now, if at the end of that 5 minutes, you are in the middle of answering a question, I'll give you a warning that you've got 30 seconds to finish your response to that question. If a judge happens to be in the middle of asking a question, I will just cut them off so we can stay on time. Okay?
Who are your competitors and what makes you different?
Yeah, so a lot of our competitors out there include like FitOn and a lot of other fitness apps, but ultimately what makes us different is how we incorporate machine learning and like personalized routines based on user input. So they like have maybe they have back problems, maybe they're an athlete and they want to stretch their muscles. We find specific yoga exercises and specific acupressure targeted to those muscle groups and to their specific needs.
Additionally, another unique part of our app is that we have user forums where users can ask different questions to other users or just challenges in general, which other fitness apps don't really offer as of yet, along with our different types of sessions, including yoga, acupressure, and breathing exercises.
What are you guys building that chat function on, and what's the computer vision model you guys are using to build that?
For the chat function, as it's mainly using it's just a form, so we're not really using any machine learning for that aspect, but for the image training process and for the computer to recognize like your position and all of that, we plan to just use simple logistic regressions and train it with that, as well as try other classifiers in the future and see if the model is able to accurately depict them and then compare the different model and their accuracies.
So you haven't done any of that quite yet?
We started training like a basic model with just our like a few different poses and getting like data set. But I think the hard part for us right now is gathering the data, because obviously like a machine learning model, in order to be able to have like a high accuracy, it needs a lot of data. So we currently just have like one pose trained.
And to add on to that, we also need the machine learning model is as good as its data, and in order to get APIs and access to all of that data, we need subscriptions and stuff like that. So we haven't looked or started that process yet.
You mentioned a revenue figure, I think, of $36,500, but I didn't quite understand where that money was coming from. Is that a subscription? Is that partnership fees, advertising?
That's mainly from like the advertisement revenue part is we kind of searched online for like how much you can kind of get just based off of the ad revenue, and found that you can get approximately like $5 to $10,000 per $5 to $10 per around like 1,000 views. And so if we have like around 10,000 daily users, we hope to get at least $36,500 translated yearly based on solely ad revenue. And we also hope to make a little bit more from partnering with wellness influencers or famous brands.
And what's your go-to-market strategy? Are you how are folks going to find this? There are a lot of wellness apps out there. How do you break through the clutter?
I think right now, like AI is a really hot topic. So especially just by like going on social media and saying how we're using like AI machine learning to help you like you and your wellness routine, I think that's going to be pretty big, especially with like the younger generation and everybody just really into like artificial intelligence technology right now.
And we already have like a small Instagram account launched, and that's mainly just within our local circle. So hopefully if we're able to get at least like 1,000 of our family and friends to join through our Instagram account, as well as download the app, and maybe like have at least 200 of them using it regularly, we hope to build that connection with them first, and then hope increase our brand and app through that.
You mentioned using influencers to potentially generate revenue. Wouldn't you need to pay them?
Yeah, I think a large part of it I was also thinking about with partnering with companies in general. And then, yeah, we would probably need to pay influencers if they were to partner with us, or kind of do it as like a mutual thing where they are able to get publicity through our app and we're able to get publicity from them.
What are the outcomes? How does a user know if their mental health is improving?
We plan on having it like ask the user for feedback after each session to kind of train and see like
Well, for the form.
Or yeah, see patterns in what they like and what they don't like, and ultimately like what routines are best for their needs.
All right, we are right at 5 minutes, and so we're out of time for any more questions. We want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be with us to share your innovation. And we hope to see you at the finals at Illinois Wesleyan University on April 6th. We wish you the best of luck. All right, so you're going to have 90 seconds to make your pitch. You've already gotten ahead of me and put your slide up there ready for us to display.
Yes.
So I will warn you, you'll give me the cue as to when to start the clock, but at 90 seconds, I will stop you. If you're not done yet, I'm just going to be fair to all the other teams. So everybody just gets 90 seconds to pitch.
Great. All right.
Then we'll move into question and answers, and I'll tell you how that's going to work. But first, we want to hear from you.
Okay, great. So hello, we're Blazeboard. I'm Dennis. I'm Charlie. And I'm Rohan. Ever since my childhood, I loved camping. Driving out to the campgrounds during the weekend was my idea of a perfect vacation. There's no other way I'd rather spend my time than soaking up the sun in the outdoors. I just had two problems: bugs and food prep. Sometimes I had no other option than to cover myself in bug spray, adding to the 4 million pounds of bug spray used a year by Americans. I was practically a walking biohazard. And food prep was even worse. I found myself cutting up my food on tree stumps or dirty picnic tables in the middle of the woods, home to hundreds of thousands of bacteria. There just had to be a better option. That's why we made Blazeboard. Blazeboard is a disposable wooden cutting board meant to be thrown in a campfire after use. It's also infused with natural repellents such as cedar shavings and lavender to eliminate pests such as mosquitoes. To use Blazeboard after a meal or a fun camping trip, simply throw the cutting board in a fire, which releases the mosquito repellents, which most importantly also lets you leave with less than you brought by burning the cutting board.
As you can see on the slide, everything in our board is eco-friendly and burnable. Also on our bottom right corner is our website link. Pack light and camp right with Blazeboard. Thank you.
All right. You had 15 seconds left, so you were ahead of schedule. We are going to get started with our Q&A, and how that's going to work is that we will do that for 5 minutes. If you happen to be in the middle of answering a question at the end of that 5 minutes, I'll warn you, but give you 30 more seconds to finish your response to that question. If a judge happens to be in the middle of asking a question at the end of the 5 minutes, we'll just stop there. Okay? Okay. All right. So we'll start
cost model.
There you go. There's your first question. Go ahead, Chris, again.
What does this cost to make? What would you sell it for?
So our cost of goods is around $2.12, and it costs 32 cents to manufacture, and we sell a pack of 3 for $19.99.
That's what it costs to manufacture 3 or manufacture 1?
Manufacture 1, so it's $7.12 to manufacture 3.
Still a good margin.
What's your go-to-market strategy? How are you going to get this out there? What type of distribution channels and so forth do you intend to use?
Yeah, so we've actually already started. We're planning to firstly distribute these cutting boards to campers, and we've already distributed to 3 campers, I'm pretty sure. Cub Scouts, Palatine, Schaumburg, and Lake Zurich. We're just getting feedback from them currently and changing stuff accordingly. And as for marketing, for now, we're just trying to find Boy Scouts, as I just said, and Instagram. We already made an Instagram. We've posted a video on there as well, and we're planning to make more.
If this catches fire, no pun intended, what's your guys' moat? It seems like these are pretty commodity cogs here, like inputs to the product.
Right, so we're already talking to a manufacturer in New York that can easily make the boards, and all we have to do is just ship them to the consumer. So
no, but what I'm asking is, like, if someone realizes this is a good idea and they're bigger than you and decide to compete with you, like, is there any proprietary patent on this, combination, or is that just not something you guys are thinking about?
Yeah, actually, funny. I'm pretty sure in 2 weeks we're actually talking with a lawyer about that. Right now, all we have is like simple like trademark stuff for like our logo and name, but we will be talking with the lawyer about that soon. We'll get back to you with that.
Does oak and pine have some sort of mosquito repellent quality? I believe lavender does. I'm not certain, but what makes oak and pine keep bugs away?
Well, we've researched all the different kind of woods, and oak and pine are the safest to cook on, to cut on, and also pine does have that mosquito repellent properties. Same with oak. So the cutting boards themselves, oak and pine, they're not really the main mosquito repellent. As you can see on the top right corner, we have these little indents inside the cutting board that don't touch the cutting board at all. They don't touch the food. And that's where we're planning to use cedar shavings and lavender, which are mosquito repellents and are safe to use. And again, they don't touch the food at all, so it's completely safe.
So these oak and pine, the lavender is pre-populated in those crevices, essentially?
Yeah, we just make holes inside and we just put a dowel inside to close the hole.
So I think you mentioned that you're targeting groups that both enjoy camping and outdoors and sustainability.
Yeah.
And you've identified initially, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts. Are there other groups how much customer discovery have you done? Are there other groups that would sort of be right at that interface?
I mean, I think we're definitely going to say the camping. So anybody who loves camping, obviously people who live in RVs, anybody who spends their time outdoors. Anybody just on the go and using campfire. So this could for sure just be used like in the backyard if you're like having a campfire, like a bonfire with your friends. It's really just targeted to people who are near campfires, and that's just the whole.
How long does it burn for?
So we haven't exactly tested that yet. We estimate for like around 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes.
And then does that like aroma linger for an amount of time, or
Yeah.
does?
So cedar shavings, they last longer than lavender, which we're still, which is why we have the option because people like lavender as well. But yeah, they do linger in the air for a little while, and that we're actually getting the feedback from our campers. I'm pretty sure in two days, 1 day. So for April 6th, we'll for sure have that info for you.
I love this idea. This is more of a comment than a question, but expanding your market from the cutting board part of it is cool and unique to this, but expanding the infused bug repellent into, there's a lot more people who sit by fires than there are people who cook out in the wilderness and sit by fires. So in terms of addressing your total available market down the road and how you might expand that, just something to think about.
Yeah, of course.
Something I'll add in is I've always been told just do one thing well with your business model, and I would agree that bug repellent is a fantastic route in a larger market size, but I might be wrong. But keep refining the model. I think this is a great.
Of course. Yep.
It's the end of our 5 minutes of time for Q&A. Sorry to have to cut you off because you definitely have a crowd of people who are interested in what it is that you're producing and innovating. We do hope and wish you the best of luck. We hope to see you at Illinois Wesleyan University on April 6th when we host the finals. We hope you have a good evening, and thank you for participating and celebrating high school innovators.
Thank you for having us.
Great work.